Many people spend their entire lives searching for fulfillment in the wrong places. They chase after wealth, fame, and success, believing that these things will bring them lasting happiness. But time and time again, we see that even those who have everything the world can offer still feel empty inside. Why? Because true blessing is not something that can be bought, earned, or achieved. It is something that comes from within. Real blessing does not depend on external circumstances. It is not determined by the size of your bank account, the home you live in, or the accolades you receive. If that were the case, only the rich and powerful would be truly happy. But we know that's not true. There are people with very little who live with great peace and joy, and there are those with everything who feel lost and alone. This shows us that blessing is not about what you have, but about who you are and what fills your heart. The source of real blessing is something far greater than material success. It is found in knowing that you are loved, that you have a purpose, and that your life has meaning beyond the temporary things of this world. When you embrace this truth, you will begin to experience a deep sense of peace and fulfillment that nothing can shake. This kind of blessing is not given by people, nor can it be taken away by circumstances. It remains steady through the ups and downs of life. True blessing also comes from living in alignment with what is good and right. When your heart is filled with love, kindness, and gratitude, you carry a blessing that radiates to those around you. No amount of money or success can replace the joy of a heart at peace, the satisfaction of a life well lived, or the assurance that you are walking in the right direction. So if you find yourself searching for blessing, do not look outward, look inward. Cultivate a heart of gratitude, a spirit of integrity, and a love that extends beyond yourself. Seek what is eternal rather than what is fleeting. When you do this, you will realize that the greatest blessings are not those that can be seen or measured, but those that transform your heart and soul from within. Many people spend their lives searching for meaning, fulfillment, and happiness, thinking that true blessing comes from what they can earn, achieve, or possess. But the greatest blessings in life are not found in material things or worldly success. They come from something far greater, something beyond ourselves. Blessing is not something we create with our own hands. It is something we receive when we recognize that our lives are not accidents, that we were designed with a purpose, and that there is a source of goodness that reaches beyond our own strength. Too often people seek blessing in temporary things. They believe that if they just work harder, earn more, or gain more recognition, they will finally be satisfied. Yet time and time again, they find that even after reaching their goals, there is still something missing. That is because real blessing is not measured by material wealth or status, but by the condition of the heart. The deepest sense of peace, joy, and fulfillment comes when we recognize that we were created by a loving Creator who desires to bless us, not just with temporary success, but with an everlasting purpose. To receive true blessing, we must first open our hearts to the idea that we are not self-sufficient. No matter how strong, intelligent, or capable we are, we all have limits. There are moments in life when we come to the end of ourselves, when our own abilities are not enough, when the things we once relied on fail us. It is in those moments that we begin to see the true source of blessing. When we acknowledge that we need something greater than ourselves, we step into a life that is filled with meaning beyond anything we could manufacture on our own. Recognizing the source of blessing also changes the way we see life. Instead of striving endlessly for things that fade away, we learn to rest in the knowledge that we are already loved, already valued, already held in the hands of something greater. That understanding brings a peace that no amount of money or success can buy. It allows us to live with confidence, knowing that we do not have to struggle endlessly for approval or security. Instead, we can walk each day with assurance, knowing that the greatest blessing is not what we achieve, but what we receive when we recognize the true source of our strength and purpose. Obedience is the key that unlocks the door to true blessing. Many people desire blessings in their lives, but they often overlook the path that leads to them. The world tells us that success comes through self-reliance, personal ambition, and doing whatever it takes to get ahead. But real, lasting blessing comes when we align ourselves with what is right and live in obedience to principles that bring life, peace, and purpose. Obedience requires humility. It means recognizing that we don't have all the answers, that there is wisdom greater than our own. Many struggle with this because they want control. They want to do things their own way, on their own terms. But when we surrender that need for control and choose to follow the right path, even when it's difficult, we place ourselves in a position to receive blessings that go beyond what we could achieve on our own. Blessings don't always come in the way we expect. Some people think obedience guarantees immediate rewards, wealth, success, or a problem-free life. But true blessing is much deeper. It is the peace that comes from knowing you are walking the right path. It is the strength that sustains you in difficult times. It is the joy that fills your heart even when circumstances are challenging. Obedience doesn't mean life will be easy, but it does mean that you will never walk alone. And you will experience the goodness that comes from making choices rooted in truth and integrity. Every decision we make leads us in a direction, either toward blessing or away from it. Choosing honesty over deceit, forgiveness over resentment, humility over pride, and generosity over selfishness shapes the kind of life we live. These choices build character, strengthen relationships, and open doors to opportunities that would otherwise remain closed. The greatest blessings come not just in what we receive, but in who we become. Ultimately, obedience is an act of trust. It is believing that following the right path will lead to something greater than what we could achieve through our own ways. It requires faith to walk in integrity when no one is watching, to do what is right even when it is difficult, and to trust that in due time the blessings will come. When we live this way, we don't just receive blessings, we become a blessing to others, and that is the greatest reward of all. Gratitude has the power to transform lives. It shifts perspectives, brings joy, and opens the heart to the fullness of life. Too often, people focus on what they lack rather than what they have. They dwell on disappointments, compare themselves to others, and measure their worth by things that will not last. But gratitude changes that. It redirects the mind from scarcity to abundance, from despair to hope, from frustration to peace. A grateful heart sees blessings even in the smallest moments. It recognizes the beauty of a sunrise, the kindness of a friend, the warmth of a home, and the privilege of another day. Gratitude is not about having everything, it is about appreciating everything. When people begin to count their blessings rather than their burdens, they find that they have more than they realized. Gratitude also changes attitude. A person who is thankful is not easily shaken by difficulties. They face challenges with resilience because they see past the problem to the greater purpose. When life is hard, gratitude reminds them of past victories, of times they thought they wouldn't make it, but did. It gives strength in the storm and faith in the waiting. Not only does gratitude change individuals, but it also changes relationships. A thankful person is more patient, more generous, and more loving. They don't take people for granted. They recognize the value of those around them and express appreciation, strengthening bonds and deepening connections. A simple thank you can heal wounds, restore friendships, and bring warmth to the coldest heart. Gratitude also leads to joy. Many people chase happiness, thinking it comes from success or possessions, but joy is not found in circumstances, it is found in a thankful heart. The happiest people are not those who have the most, but those who are most grateful for what they have. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is missing to what is present, from anxiety to contentment, from longing to fulfillment. Choosing gratitude every day is choosing to live with peace and purpose. It is an act of faith, a declaration that life is a gift worth cherishing. When people live with gratitude, they discover that even in the darkest moments, there is always something to be thankful for. And that kind of perspective leads to a life truly blessed. Living with purpose and faith is the key to a truly blessed life. Many people wander through life without direction, unsure of why they are here or what they are meant to do. They chase after temporary things, money, success, recognition, only to find that none of it satisfies the deepest longing of their hearts. But when a person embraces a life of purpose and faith, everything changes. They no longer live for the fleeting, but for the eternal. Purpose is what gives life meaning. It is not about chasing after personal ambition, but about discovering why you were created. Every person has a unique role to play, a path set before them that no one else can walk. When you recognize that your life has a higher purpose beyond just existing, you begin to live with intention. You make decisions based not on what is easiest, but on what is right. You seek to serve rather than be served, to give rather than simply receive. True purpose is not found in selfish pursuits, but in something greater than yourself. Faith is the foundation that sustains purpose. It is the belief that no matter what happens, you are not alone. Life will bring challenges, hardships, and moments of uncertainty, but faith provides the strength to keep moving forward. It is the assurance that even when things do not go as planned, there is still a divine plan at work. Faith is what allows people to step out in confidence, even when they cannot see the whole picture. It brings peace in times of trouble, hope in moments of despair, and courage when fear threatens to take over. When a person chooses to live with purpose and faith, they experience a deeper level of blessing. Their life is no longer defined by circumstances, but by conviction. They are not easily shaken by difficulties because they know their foundation is secure. They do not measure success by worldly standards, but by the impact they have on others. Such a life is rich, full, and meaningful. Those who live with purpose and faith find that they are truly blessed, not because they have everything they want, but because they have everything they need. They walk in peace, in confidence, and in the assurance that their lives matter. And that is the greatest blessing of all. Blessings are not merely gifts that fall into our laps. They are often the result of the choices we make each day. The decisions we embrace, the paths we take, and the actions we commit to shape the kind of life we experience. Many people spend their lives searching for blessings in external things, hoping for sudden success, financial gain, or recognition. But true, lasting blessings come from the way we live, from the principles we uphold, and from the choices we make when no one else is watching. When we choose honesty over deceit, we build a life of integrity. When we choose kindness over selfishness, we cultivate relationships filled with love and trust. When we choose to forgive instead of holding on to bitterness, we free ourselves from the burdens that weigh us down. These choices, though seemingly small, have the power to shape our lives in extraordinary ways. A single decision to do what is right can open doors of opportunity, heal broken relationships, and bring peace to a troubled heart. Life presents us with choices every day, and in those choices, we determine the direction of our future. A person who consistently chooses to do good, to live with purpose, and to honor what is right will experience blessings that go far beyond material wealth. They will have peace in their hearts, joy in their spirits, and a sense of fulfillment that cannot be taken away by life's troubles. It is also important to understand that blessings do not always come immediately. Sometimes doing the right thing requires patience, perseverance, and faith. It may seem easier to take shortcuts, to compromise on values, or to follow the crowd. But those who remain steadfast in their principles will find that over time, blessings will come in ways they never expected. They may come through meaningful relationships, through opportunities that align with their purpose, or through an inner strength that carries them through challenges. Every decision we make is like a seed planted in the ground. If we plant seeds of righteousness, kindness, and faith, we will one day reap a harvest of blessings. The choices we make today will shape the future we step into tomorrow. Choose wisely, live with purpose, and walk in the assurance that true blessings grow through right choices.